Now, has the market bottomed out? Can we start to invest again? Have we staved off inflation finally? Depending on who you ask, it's either the end of the world or the fruit is ripe for the picking. Welcome to Money Talk Sundayz. I am your host, Stevie Bee, and we're going to get right to it. Now, the major averages ended positive for the week, coming after the best month for the S&P 500 since November of 2020. That's almost 2 whole years. Now, you can say for the last 2 years, we were in a pre-recession mode despite the gains various industries have seen. Now, you know how they say by the time you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. The same can be said for the market. Now, over the last several months, going back to almost a year, there were all kinds of signals of a thirsty market. Now, inflation is just but one signal, the latest of which the media has decided to harp upon. Now, rule of thumb, by the time the media is telling you about it, it's already too late and corrective action is past due. Hence the overcorrection that is so common in consumer behavior. Now, despite this, though, the state of the economy is still the barometer for how the country is doing. Although recent gains across major indices has brought renewed hope to the market, the NASDAQ and the S&P are still in the red for the year. The NASDAQ composite is still down 20% year to date, and the S&P 500 is down 13%. Now, like I said last week, if you tuned in last week, I think we've been in recession mode, and the recent rally is not to be confused with the end of the bear market. Are we trending closer to positive growth? Definitely. Are we out of the woods yet? Definitely not. Inflation is still a real factor, limiting the spending power of millions of Americans. Now, higher prices, supply shortages, short staffing, the invasion of technology into the labor force, i.e. robots, and more will lead to a tightening of the wallets and pockets, especially for those lower on the totem pole. Now, it's not all doom and gloom, however. Despite the seriousness of the situation, there are still industries and sectors seeing positive gains in contrast to the rest of the market. Take, for example, the top 5 market movers this past week. Applied DNA Sciences Incorporated, or APDN, saw their shares explode in value after their recent announcement that it had initiated a validation of a monkeypox virus test. In fact, it is up 755% in the past week. If we learned anything during COVID, the first one out the gate gets free reign of the market before the competitor shows up. On August 1st, this stock was worth only 68 cents. Today, on Money Talk Sundayz, it is August 7, 2022. Today, it is up to $5.83 a share with the price target of $11.56. Remember missing out on Moderna? Because I do. I missed out on Moderna. Now, don't get me wrong. I bought into Moderna early. It was only $40-something a share. But then I bailed out on it thinking it wasn't going to do anything. And guess, lo and behold, before it reached the hundreds, I bailed on it, and it reached all of a sudden the mid 300s at some point. Now, I lost on that. I kicked myself on it, but I don't dwell on it, but I keep it as a lesson learned. Take advantage of the circumstances that are set before you and win. I am buying in on APDN. First thing tomorrow, I'm going to buy, I'm going to hold, and I'm going to ride that sucker out. Next, we have Assure Holdings Corporation. The ticker symbol is IONM, which is up 160% in the past week, followed by QRTEB, MTC, and AMTD. AMTD went bananas this past week. It was only chump change, and it ended up closing at $1,100. Now, beware of AMTD though. It seems like fast money, but this is one of those stocks that are considered meme stocks. So just as quickly as you can get that bag, you can end up with an empty bag by the end of that trading session. So traders, beware. All this to say, despite a struggling market, there are opportunities out there in this market for aggressive traders. If you're more of a buy and hold type of guy, I'm kind of partially that. There are still plenty of options to buy in on, and as the market continues to bounce up and down, you just average down or up and keep on going. That's all I have tonight for our Money Talk Sundayz. I hope you found some of this information beneficial. I'm not going to rush this and try to do too much too fast like I did before, but I do have some ideas in my head for the future that I'm itching to roll out, things that I'm trying to get done for the channel, for Money Talk Sundayz, to be able to really get this ball rolling. But guess what? Patience is a virtue. So until next week, this is Stevie Bee for Money Talk Sundayz. Happy trading, everybody.